Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. In today's video, we're over on the test server because the new heroes have just dropped into the game. As you can see, we've got Zaphrael there and Lucretia there. They're in the game. We're going to take a look at their signature items, furniture abilities, the actual multipliers on their abilities, and take a look at them in action. So let's get into it. Now, first things first, people always ask me when this stuff is coming to global. It's normally 2 to 4 days. However, because on the poster they do say that on the 29th we get to pick one, they should be here by the 29th on the global server. So that is that. Let's kick it off with Zaphorael. The sprite does look really solid. I do like it. His abilities look sick. Anyway, let's just go. We did do a video covering him, but now we do have damage multipliers, which is the important thing. Okay, so he teleports to the side of the battlefield, which has the most enemies on it, and fires 7 powerful orbs. Bolts of lightning across the battlefield, dealing 180% damage per lightning bolt to each enemy that the bolt strikes, increases up to 200%. It'd be curious to see if you chicken them down, or you get them more cramped if the bolts are more condensed, meaning you can deal more damage. Have to wait and see on that. Then we got this one, summons a thundercloud that exists for 18 seconds, which strikes the enemy target nearest Zaphorael every 4 seconds, dealing 150% damage to them and causing them to be temporarily stunned. 4 seconds, not bad. I thought it was going to be less than that, but still not too bad. The skill up though, the thundercloud deals an additional damage equal to 5% of the enemy target's max health. Ooh, additional damage cannot exceed 200% of Zaphorael's attack rating. Okay. They're putting a lot of these fail-safes in on this type of scaling, so that's not too bad. But hey, an extra 5% ain't too bad when it's happening every 4 seconds. With a stun, I'm cool with that. Then this one, Zaphorael teleports behind the enemy that is closest to his allies' side of the battlefield and knocks them to the ground, dealing 230%, which isn't too bad, Aioli damage to the target and nearby enemies. Simultaneously, Zaphorael receives a shield that is able to mitigate damage equal to 8 of his own attack rating. So I'm tipping 8 times his own attack rating, which has a okay, typo, got it. Which is able to mitigate damage equal to 500% of his own attack rating, which has a duration of 8 seconds. They've got that mixed up. You know what's fantastic about that? Hopefully we get a hot fix and we get diamonds. That's all I'm hoping. While the shield exists, Zaphorael uses melee attacks, and once the shield disappears, he shall immediately return to his original position. Keep raining damage. Value of shield increased to 700% of his attack rating. Not too bad. And then we get the damage increase as well. Then for the passive, during battle when enemies are dealt damage, they are simultaneously electrified for 10 seconds. When electrified, enemies are dealt damage that exceeds 12% of their maximum health. I don't know why the exceeds is in there. The electric shall be transferred to the next closest enemy, causing the nearby enemy to lose health that equal to 30% of the initial attack's damage. Okay. I don't get the exceeds bit, but cool beans. It's damage and it chains. I like chain lightning effects. Cool beans. That's good enough for me. Electric transfer now occurs when the damage exceeds. Oh, now I get it. Okay, it's just poorly worded, or I'm just bad at understanding. But basically, they're electrified for 10 seconds. Once the damage that they receive from that electrify effect goes past 12% of their maximum health, then it chains on to the next guy. So it's like once it's done, over 12% of, or with skill ups, 10%, then it moves on. Okay, and then enemy target receives 50% of the attack's initial damage. Cool beans, that makes sense. And also, it still doesn't state whether it's just his damage. If it's anyone's damage, that's crazy, but I'm tipping it's only going to be his. Anyway, signature item, let's jump into it. After using the ability Lightning Arc, Zaphorael's normal melee attacks become even more powerful, dealing 60% damage 9 times to the enemy, also interrupting their current action. That sounds strong. Damage increased to 70, damage increased to 80. The ability Thunderstorm targets 1 additional enemy target, so that's cool. That is pretty solid, man. That sounds pretty solid. So after he uses which one is it? This one, Lightning Arc. His melee, am I reading that? So his melee attacks are going to deal 80% damage 9 times to the enemy. Does that mean like one hit does like 9 spikes of 80% damage? Because that is huge multiplier if it is. Have to wait and see. Have to wait and see. Exclusive furniture. When an enemy deals damage to Zaphorael, they are stunned for 0.5 seconds. Stunned enemies cannot be stunned again for 8 seconds. This ability shall still stun its target even if the damage is completely mitigated. Okay, so basically if he pops his shield and they attack him, he's still gonna stun them. That's cool. And then this increases the stun duration to 2 seconds, which is a lot stronger. Not too bad, like especially if you put him front row and then like someone hits him, they get stunned, then he's got the cloud that's just spam stunning him. It could be a pretty decent lockout. But yeah, that's pretty much that one. Let's go ahead and check him in the Arena of Trials. We do not get to see his signature item and furniture item though. That looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. Decent range on it. On that teleport. On the AoE from it. Okay, this is a good and a bad thing. So his ultimate, if we slow this down, if we look at it, it's very condensed. So it doesn't look like it covers the whole battlefield. I like the cloud sitting up there, by the way. But it doesn't cover the whole battlefield, which is good in that you can get the bolts to hit, like multiple bolts to hit the same enemy. But obviously you're just going to lose coverage. But I think that's probably a better way to have it, is to be more condensed. Like these guys, they're each going to get hit by like 3 or 4 and get absolutely deleted. So I actually think that's actually a pretty good thing, depending on your team formation and how you can try and manipulate the enemy team. I really do like it. I reckon he looks really cool. Sweet. All right, let's jump over to his wife, who's really annoyed at him. Now, Lucretia, I'm calling it now, just because I hope I'm right. I feel like her with Taylene is going to be busted. I feel like and how cool is that? And I love anything where when they use their ultimate, they change their appearance. It looks sick. Wait for it. Let's see if we can see it. There it is. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. It looks sick. Anyway, I feel like she's going to be busted with Taylene. I just feel like those two by themselves are going to be able to carry for days. We'll have to wait and see. It depends on numbers. It depends how it play tests. But I'm really considering just completely scrapping any plans on my Celestial Hypergen account and just going full on for her because I just love the design. Anyway, ultimate. The first time Lucretia uses her ultimate ability, she absorbs her 2 revolving skulls, absorbing their energy until the end of the battle. After absorbing the skulls, Lucretia's life leech is increased by 40 and her energy recovery rate is increased by 50%, which is really nice. Afterwards, each time she uses her ultimate ability, she deals 280% AoE damage to nearby enemies, goes up to 320. Pretty decent AoE multiplier at 320. Pretty happy with that. I have to check the range of the AoE when we test her though. Hellfire. Flames encircle Lucretia for 10 seconds, dealing 60% damage every 0.5 seconds to enemies in her proximity. Enemies affected by Lucretia's flames have their defense rating decreased by 15% for 2 seconds. This ability can be stacked. It's only 2 seconds. But it's every 0.5 seconds. So you just... and this is where we're going to have to do some testing, because if it depends if each stack resets the counter on it, because if it does, you can just basically get towards an ignored defense range. Otherwise, every 0.5 seconds you're going to max out at a 60% defense break. So we'll have to wait and see. But 10 seconds, 60% damage every 0.5 seconds, it's pretty decent damage. It goes up to 90%. Not too bad, but definitely have to pay attention when we test to see if that's stacking, how that stacks. Lucretia marks the enemy that has dealt the highest total amount of damage and hunts them until their death. While hunting down the enemy target, Lucretia receives 50% less damage from the target, so 50%, that's a pretty decent whack. If the enemy formation includes Zaphorael, she's going to prioritize Zaphorael. Damage to hunt enemy is increased by 20% duration, and then damage increased by 40%. She's gonna snipe dudes, man. I really think she's gonna be so strong with Taylene. Oh my god. Okay, next one. When positioned on the front line, she eats the skull that gives her dodge and tenacity. When positioned on the back line, she eats the skull that gives her attack speed and crit amplification. The effects of both skulls are simultaneously activated after Lucretia uses her ultimate ability for the first time. Cool beans. When on the front line, she's going to get 80 and 30. And then she's going to get 25 and 35. So just really nice stat increases. Signature item. When any non-summoned, and this is where the Taileen thing comes in. When any non-summoned ally dies, Lucretia gains 100 energy points, and then when any non-summoned ally dies, she gains 200 energy points. At level 20, when any non-summoned ally dies, Lucretia's attack rating is increased by 30% for 12 seconds. This ability can be stacked. The time durations, yada yada yada. So basically, someone dies, she gets that attack buff. Someone else dies 6 seconds in, then she's going to have 6 seconds of both, and then the first one's going to fade off. Moving on, when any non-summoned ally dies, she gets attack rating increase of 50%. I just think she's going to... This is where I say, with Taileen, when she's got that extra... What she gets? She gets like haste, life leech, crit amplification, attack speed, dodge, tenacity. Like, she gets so many stat increases, and then on top of that you stack her with a Taileen who's going to keep dying, and you get 50% attack. And then if you just put it with the rest of the team, that's, oh my god, I just feel like it's going to be nuts. I feel like it's going to be nuts. Exclusive furniture. You watch it be the worst thing ever, and I've just overhyped something completely for no reason, but I think it's going to be good. I hold out hope. I want this to be good more than I want Chicken Ear to be good, to be honest. Okay, furniture. When enemies have used their ultimate abilities for a combined number of 2 times. Ooh, so like basically if you have 5 enemies, as long as 2 ults go off, the effects caused by the flames... What? Okay, let me read that again. Blaze Fury. When enemies have used their ultimate abilities for a combined number of 2 times, the effects caused by the flames of the ability Hellfire, I'm there, are strengthened. Enemies that are damaged by the flames have their energy recovery rates reduced by 50%, and that's an AoE. Really, really nice. Chicken, Euron, Taileen, happy days. Okay. When enemies have used their ultimate abilities for a combined number of 7 times, the flame effects of the ability Hellfire are strengthened, and the flames shall no longer disappear. Enemies that are damaged by the flames will be unable to use their ultimate abilities for a short duration. If that means the flame stays the whole time, as long as she keeps hitting them with that flame, they're never going to use an ultimate. I really like her, guys. I really like her. Let's test this out. Let's test her out. Let's go whack this thing. And you got to remember, she's getting that extra damage increase, so she's just going to snipe people, and she's going to have so many stats. She's... And the AoE from her ultimate looks sick. Can I just add that in? That looks... I like the animation. I just see her having so much survivability with those stats and so much damage. So if you team her up with a Taileen, the one thing she does lack is a shield, because shields seem to provide like so much extra mitigation. I just feel like Taileen just completely dominates life once she gets her shield. But I don't know, the tenacity, the dodge, the life leech. I don't want to overhype something, but I feel like she's going to be godly, and obviously she is a leather wearer, so she's going to gain all those extra stats, all the extra dodge that comes with that. And often with melee leather wearers, they suck because they instantly die. But I feel like when you've got all these extra passives, got the energy recovery rate as well. But when you get the tenacity and the extra dodge, I feel like she might be able to survive enough. And I just... 80 dodge, 30 tenacity. I don't know if it'll be enough. I don't know if it'll be like, it'll definitely be OP up to like chapter 23 or 24. It's just the end game, whether it's going to be busted in campaign, if it's going to be strong enough. But I feel like PvP, it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I'm leaning towards her. I'll see. I'm gonna talk to a few people because we've got a couple of days before we have to select which one we want, and I will do a video talking about which one I'm gonna choose. But I'm leaning towards her at this stage. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.